Hey everybody, and welcome back to a bit of revenge here for our Elven campaign. 4th Age Total War Dominion of Man. We are attacking the Bjornings, and they have chosen poorly in terms of their ground. They're set up down here. They could have elected to set up a little bit higher, but for whatever reason decided not to. Now, I don't know if they're going to withdraw. I don't think they can, actually. I think we've attacked them once on the campaign map, and so they do not have the option to leave this fight. So they're just frantically rearranging themselves, and this bodes very well indeed. The balance of power bar for this one was quite heavily skewed in our favor, despite the numbers being about equal. Of course, we have quite a few elves in this one, and so that's always nice. All right, here we go. We don't need to get down the hill too far, because I think we're going to be shooting pretty quickly. Let's just move everybody a touch forward. We'll maintain the height advantage, and our elves are still going to be able to shoot. Maybe we can get a look at the formation here. So, yeah, right on the front, we've got some Elven hunters. There's 3 of them. And right in the back, right behind them, we've got our Elven retainers. I'm going to go ahead and put these guys in shield wall. We've got our general, who we cannot put in shield wall because he's got the rally troops option, our Noldor swords, and then Lindon guards. Yes, our elves are shooting already. We've got Greenwood guards here with the little face masks. We've got Elven bows, and then we've got Galadrim scouts. All of them are going to do okay in melee, and behind them, some Ariador mercenary bowmen, and then our cavalry behind them. 3 of these Ariador rider mercs, Elven riders, and then the Elven scout horse archers. The units that I'm most worried about in this fight are going to be the cavalry. There's quite a few of them. These woodman riders, again, can be really strong if they are used well, and so that's why I've elected this kind of weird formation. They are attacking us with the Beorning axemen, which is kind of okay. Again, I'm always a little torn about this. Let's go ahead and just throw in, I guess we've got our Lindon guards here. Throw in the Noldor swords too. Beorning axemen, okay, they're already routing. Very nice. Looks like they did catch our skirmishers a little bit. But that worked out very well. This is just a captain commanding the Bjornings, so we don't need to worry too much. But we lost a lot of our Elven hunters, unfortunately. But we don't need to worry too much about morale for these guys, because they are going to be suffering a bit just because of that that fact that they're led by a captain. I should say we've also got some woodmen, mercenary axemen, and our mariners too. They're kind of in the middle. Not quite sure how we're going to use those guys. But yeah, we're just cutting these guys down. It is quite a difference to our previous battle with the Bjornings, in which we lost our King Thranduil. But in that fight, of course, we had, I think we were quite a bit outnumbered, and we had a lot of very strange units to deal with. A lot of dogs. It was a very long fight, and we had only 3 or 4 Elven units. They were just overwhelmed and just couldn't stand under so much punishment. So this is going to play out a little bit differently. All right, we're still shooting at somebody. There's the captain, and they've got no choice now. All right, you know what? Let's just bring some of our guys down. Our Lancer Cav is going to do pretty well, I think, as long as we do get a charge. And you know, let's just cancel this. We're never going to catch those guys with our infantry. But I think this, yes, that's going to be the end of them. You know, we may as well move up. Maybe bring our bodyguards. Yeah, let's leave the archers kind of where they are. Let's bring basically our front line forward. All right, at this point, we are out of arrows for most of our archers. Some of the Manish archers do have some arrows left. All right, let's just go ahead and charge. We got to start this. I think I'll charge my Elven riders down into the Bjorning war dogs. Lindon guards. Just everybody run forward, basically. And this should be okay. We are going to get hit by those cav, most likely. But they're falling pretty good, and we're not. So probably rout them, but we are going to get hit in the back. Okay. We'll just turn to face this one. Elven Riders, I don't know that we lost anybody just yet. No, we did lose 1 or 2 horses, unfortunately. And these Woodman Riders are chasing my Elven Scouts. Okay, well, this is a place where the bows are going to be doing a little bit of work. They're shaken already. We could turn and probably hurt them quite a bit, so let's do that. I'm curious how this is going to go. These Elven Scouts are not super strong in melee. Yeah, that's it. We didn't take a single loss to those cav. Very nice. And so, I guess that's the end of the fight. Great, we'll get back to the campaign map and see what our next move can be. Well, I'm not going to complain about that. We took fewer than 100 casualties, and the rest of the enemy fled. So now we can proceed farther towards the enemy stronghold. Let's see. This army is going to be a little while, a couple of turns before they get up there, and they don't look really bad at all. Up here, we've got I think this is a slightly more worrisome, yeah, so more dogs, a better mix, right? A good mix of archery, warhounds, even Bjorning axemen. So this one's a little more worrisome, and they can get down here. In Old Ford, there's not much. The thing, though, that I'm not sure of is there another unit or another stack somewhere in these trees? And so far not up here, but I've got lots of scouts in the area, which is good for this type of thing. I think what I will want to do is we'll send him down here just to scout out the woods. I'm thinking there's probably another army somewhere. Okay, well, if it's somewhere around here, I haven't found it yet. So that means we're probably good to march, like over here. What I'd like to do maybe is call this army down. If we can get a defensive fight with them, they can reach, let's see, right there. If there's another hidden army, it might be trouble for us. But you know what? Let's be a little bold here. Let's put Oldford right under siege. Get the rams going, and then they will almost certainly turn down south to attack us. Well, we were not attacked, but we did get something very nice. We got an adoptee all the way over in Ridmallen, because he is the benefactor of Petion of Lothlorien, who was himself, I think, an adoptee option who appeared in 3 ways in an episode or 2 ago. And so this guy's pretty decent, but again, it's really just nice to have another commander in the area, and especially so because that army of Tharbad that was moving towards this settlement a little while ago has moved away, and so I don't know where they went. They're somewhere in the trees, perhaps. So I've been moving my scout around to try to uncover them. Okay, here we go. There they are, somewhere right over here. So they're just lying in wait for the right moment. Now, he is the governor of Tharbad, and so I want to move him back there because we've got some stuff we can do. And now that I've got another commanding elf with a bodyguard unit of elven retainers, we can just leave him in here. He can govern Ridmallen, and I won't worry so much about what's coming. But yeah, we were not attacked by the Bjornings, and so that means that we could assault right now, and they won't have anyone to show up as reinforcements because they didn't get down here far enough or fast enough. So unless there's someone right literally on the other side of the forest in the trees, we could just attack and take this at will. So I think that's what we'll do here. And this will be a pretty quick one. We've taken the ram around to one of the side walls here where we're not under too much tower fire. Got our elven bows up near the gap to shoot at these woodman spears while our axemen rush to grab the towers and the gates, and then we'll just head up towards the center. So we're bringing up our archers, and we've got 3 melee units in particular that we're also bringing forward here. We've got our 2 bodyguards, the elven retainers, but also the Noldor swords. And in the plaza, they have some woodman axes, as well as this unit, which is the one I'm definitely most worried about, Beorning Guard. This is actually their king's unit. So we're going to charge in with the Noldor. Let's actually get them to shield wall up, and we'll do that with the other bodyguard unit as well. Alright, they're going to get in, and they're probably going to do some damage to us here. We can retrain these Noldor, but we will probably take some losses anyway. thing I'm hoping, though, of course, is that we can get them to flee, because Noldor do have a fear effect themselves. And if we do enough damage, then they may run back to the square. Okay, and the cheaper woodman axes are running away, leaving just the Bjorning guard. They're losing slightly here, but notice the size difference between these units. They're definitely taller than us, taller and bigger. There is something about the battles of this engine that, man, I just really enjoy. You can watch the course of individual fights. You know, they don't have these, like, motion captured, you know, perfect animations or anything, but, like, you can just watch what's happening in a way that's kind of clear, easy to follow. So, we'll pull back. Our archers are going to keep pulling them from the plaza to turn back around and face us. And they're coming in for another charge. So far, we've done very well. I don't think we've taken a single casualty. Let's see here. This is where the fighting was done. No, all them. Good. This is payback for Thranduil. Yes, indeed. Not a single casualty in that fight. And we've captured Old Fort, and it looks very happy with us indeed. So I think I'm going to keep the population. We'll just occupy it, and we will, as usual, lower the taxes and see what they've built for us inside. But nice thing about this place, Old Fort is a chief city, so we can retrain these mercs, and we should be good to go. Now, I could turn around, and we could attack this army right now. We do not need to wait. And so let me just check. Yeah, we've got all the movement points in the world. We could definitely do that. Let's take all these guys out, leave the woodmen, axemen, mercenaries, attack them, see if they'll fight. They will not. But we should have the movement points to both attack them again, step forward, and then return back to the settlement before this becomes a problem. Well, we've got some very forested terrain here. The enemy is ahead using these woods as cover. They're shooting out at us from between the trees here with their woodman bows. We've got several units of them, and we are just kind of holding back with our Elven hunters. They do have shields, at least, to kind of try to block some of that, and they're really holding back the fire for our own Elven bows, who can hit all of these guys just about. So we should be able to eliminate these units, and then move into the woods, where the enemy is really, I think, hoping that we don't find them. Well, it looks like we've attracted some attention now. We've got all of the arrows of our Elven bows used up, and now we're moving up the Ariador guys. Let's move up the infantry here. We may be a little bit late with the Woodman Riders charging in, but we've also got a cav of our own, and we do have, I think, enough of them to really make an impact. We've got the Woodman Riders caught by our Elven, or our Elven Retainers, rather, but our bowmen are still taking some hits. Let's move the Mariners around to the right, and if we can get a good charge on some of these units, the Bjorning Axemen. Yeah, let's hit him with our charging cav. They're only led by a captain, so maybe they won't stand up to this. Let's see. Losing heavily, 22, 20, 18. Okay, I think we're good. We're going to move the Elven cavalry out and around. And so far they're doing okay, but they're down to 8 men. So we'll move over here. Those were, I think that was really the tough unit that I was worried about, those Bjorning Axemen, but they're not going to be much of a problem anymore. We do need to get our other bodyguard units down here, though. Let's see. All the other units are engaged. All right, we're coming through. Here we go. The enemy captain is a cavalry unit. Our bodyguard is catching him, and they're doing a lot of damage, it looks like. Let's get those spears out. We're winning easily on the left. We've taken care of the Beorning Axemen. Spears are coming in. That's a bit of a problem. Oh, let's go over here. Let's see if we can grab this general unit or the captain unit. Our Elven Riders are surrounded by melee units and dogs. They're going to take some losses, and that is unfortunate. Okay, General's routing. Where's the Noldor? Let's get them. Okay, they're way off in the distance. Of course, we've got this wooded terrain here, making it very difficult. Let's hit the War Dog handlers maybe with them. I guess we can bring our elves in. Let's take them off skirmish. I think we've taken care of most of the units that I'm concerned about. Yeah, we should be fine here in this knot. Okay, we're actually doing fantastically well with the Elven Riders. I thought they'd be taking a lot more losses. These Noldor swords have quickly seen off the war dogs, so that should be the end of that problem. We'll give them the same treatment. And over here, yeah, let's just charge into the back of this this group. Spears just waiting to hold the line, but I think this is where we can throw in our bowmen. Oh yeah, it's a rout now. Well, we did take some losses in that one. The Eriador Rider mercenaries are down by quite a lot, actually. And it may be worth bringing them back over the mountains to get retrained. I think the nearest place would be able to do that is probably Lastbridge. So I think I may take that chance. We don't otherwise have a ton of cav in the area, so it's worth it to get these guys back up to snuff. But yeah, otherwise not too bad. Our Elven Riders did take some losses too. We just got to the point over in Mithlond, though, where we can retrain them. We just built the requisite level of military development so we can train them as well as the Lindon Guards. So, you know, actually, now that we've done a good amount of work in the area by taking Old Ford, by defeating, you know, 2 stacks of the Bjornings, we may be able to risk getting some of these guys back into the west for training. Let's keep the Mariners for now. I think they're a decent unit to just have with me. We'll move the rest of these guys back into the settlement. And the question now is, do we need this stack as reinforcements? I've got to say, I've been very concerned with the level of spying at the Elven King's Halls. It seems like every turn or couple of turns, we uncover another spy from Dale. So, looking at Old Ford, we've got a couple of generals here for now. We've got a unit of cavalry with these Elven scouts. We've got some archers, you know, some Elven archers as well as some Mannish ones, and we've got Noldor swords here. I think we might be all right. Even though we do have a large army here, as we saw last time, this army was not too threatening. Let me just see. I may change this if I find another big stack lurking around, because that could really change how we perceive this. I guess the other thing is what's in Amon Lank, or what's outside Amon Lank, because again, there could be a big army down there. But it may be more important, just for the moment, let's bring these guys back. I need to, I think, dissuade Dale. And at this point, I can't train anymore because I've used up the population. It is coming back, but it's going to take a very long time. Okay, this is actually a good sign. We've got this fort here. This is Mount Gundabad. This is a rebel settlement. It's full of orcs, trolls, wargs, all sorts of nasty stuff. And currently, it is under siege. Now, it has to be under siege by Dale. This settlement is still held by rebels. It's not under siege. So I've got to imagine this is an army of Dale that is taking their time trying to get rid of that army. And there probably will be something similar happening at the Grey Mountains Hold. These are places which, of course, border territory that Dale owns, and so they will spend some time going after them. Once these places fall, then we really need to start worrying about you know, when we're going to get attacked. So this is, again, I think probably a good move for us to bring these guys back, and hopefully they'll give us a few more seasons where we can kind of deal with the Bjornnings once and for all. So what was I just saying? Yeah, Kingdom of Dale attacking us right at the Elven King's Halls. I'm glad I moved in this direction, but I'm not sure if it will be enough. Okay, this is interesting though, because this is a ford. We're attacking across the ford to the north. Our settlement is just in the distance there. I think you can see the wall of it, and so that's where our reinforcements are going to come. And what's striking me as interesting about this fight is that this is an all-elf force. This is the only one we've had in quite a while. We've got our archers out front, greenwood bows, some greenwood guards in the center here, and then we've got 2 threshold troops, but also a unit we haven't seen yet really in battle, Sylvan Axes. And they're commanded by a unit of Elven scouts, so that's very nice Indeed. So we're just going to stay here. And yeah, reinforcements showing up just the way I want them to. And I think we're going to murder these guys. We've got all elves, nothing but elves, lots of bows, some decent units, a couple of units of cav. So we're already shooting at them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yup. This is going to be nice. This is going to be very satisfying. Let's target those Hearthmen of Dale. And they don't know what to do. They're just running around. Oh, lovely. Okay, so we'll bring our men forward here. Now, of course, the Threshold troops are not the best. We've got 2 of them. We really want to save them for cavalry and for fighting other, preferably low-tier spearmen. So that's going to be something to keep in mind. Back here, let's see. Oh, yeah, we've also got 3 full units of archers here. Let's rush them forward to hit. Oh, I don't know. These guys look like they could stand to die. And we're cutting those Hearthmen down. Not as fast as I would like, but we are doing consistent damage to them. Better than a lot of other archer units would do. Manish archers, anyway. Longbowmen of Dale are not firing at us yet. As soon as they start to, I'm going to switch and target to them instead. Okay, here we go. We're getting some fire from this unit. Let's see if I can get my cav over here to cause some trouble for them. We'll get them off skirmish right now. Really only 1 unit here that is cavalry. Dale Mounted Watch. This is a fairly light unit. You know, not like a super dangerous lancer or anything. Yeah, I was hoping I would push these guys to move away, but that did not take. So they've got spears to throw at me. All right, let's see if we can snipe the general. Actually, well, maybe we don't want to do that. We've got these cav. They could do some damage to us, kind of conceivably. Let's hit the Barding longbowmen and then just kind of pull through. These militia think they want to tangle with Elven scouts. I think would do fine in melee against them, honestly. All right, looks like now they're moving. All right, where's the longbows? They're not here. They're nowhere over here. So, you know what? I think it's time to send everybody forward at a run. These archers here can pick their own targets. I got to get my my cav out of here. Back here we've got Sylvan Axes and a family member, the only one I have here. But those Hearthmen are mostly eliminated, I think. The Black Spears now are the most dangerous unit. Yeah, 23 Hearthmen of Dale. That can still be a problem, but it's much less of one than it was at the start of the battle. Alright, we're doing very nicely. We can switch these guys into melee in a little while. But yeah, we're just cutting through their melee stuff. Very nice. And their archers are quite damaged, it has to be said. Alright, here they go. Threshold troops. Barding Militia is a good target for them. Sylvan Axes in action against Dale Watch. This is a tier 2 sword unit. Again, fairly light. But there's enough of them, they can be a bit of an issue. Right, some of our archers are just about out of ammunition, or entirely out, actually. Already got some routing going across the stream. When all of our archers have used up their arrows, we'll send them right across. And we do have the Black Spears. Okay, so let's bring these guys down now. All of these guys actually have a lot of arrows left in the quivers. Okay, where's those Black Spears? They're right there. You know, I guess that's fine. Our axemen have been doing very well so far. We're not fighting anything super strong in the immediate area. So let's send the retainers right after the enemy captain here, who's that just barding unit. Or it's a light cav unit, I guess. Hit the Dale Watch with our horse archers and should plow them down pretty nicely. Enemy general's gone. Alright, let's go. Sure, let's go after these Barding militia. Got a bunch of routing in the center. Alright, time to bring the archers over, and we'll also bring the captain over. Spears are pushing in, it looks like. Yep, they're getting my threshold troops, who are standing, you know, a little bit better than I thought, actually. I was thinking that they were going to be suffering a lot worse, given that we lost quite a few of them in the last couple of fights. Alright, yep, you can go around. Let's say Greenwood Guards. I want you in the backs of those black spears. There we go. You guys can target Dale Watch. Cav can just run around and do kind of whatever. Elven Retainers, let's hit the back of this. We've got Sylvan Axes, 2 of them. Oh, man. Yep. This is very nice. Very, very nice. Let's hit those Longbowmen. Chase down some routers. And just everybody charge in and murder these cultic allied jerks. They're totally surrounded. Oh, geez. I just love cutting down black spears. Well, isn't that nice? Not only did we win in that battle, we saved the Elven King's halls, and we've got a proven commander, so this is another general to take the fight to Dale, which we really do badly need in the area. I'll take him for sure. He's not fantastic, but he is a wary fighter. That's nice. He's energetic, so these are going to be good for fighting. I also like he's a House of Denethor, so that goes back to back to the First Age. Who died on the hill, was it Aemon Areb? Slain by orcs in that first assault of orcs into southern Beleriand. So, very nice. A good ambusher. We'll definitely take him. Now, one of the issues with this part of the map is that it's weirdly kind of isolated. I mean, it does have some of your strongest recruitment potential in that there's a decent amount of population, particularly the Elven King's halls from early on. But I've basically made the most use of that I can. If we look inside the settlement here, we're at 413 population, so there's not too much more I can do here. And there's no nearby settlements really for Elven until you start going to war with people. Now, I did just take Old Fort, but that's going to take some time before it comes online, and currently we're under siege by a couple of big stacks of Bjornings. Andlang is really in some ways the nearest place that we can get managed troops up here, but that's going to be a very long trip indeed to get into this region. So what I think we want to do instead, next turn, we're going to start taking the fight to Dale. We're not going to sit around and just play defensive with them. We're going to take all of our forces. In fact, let's do it now. Let's get them all together, and we may as well just take everybody. Geez, this guy is an expert commander. Yeah, let's take him into the fight too. We'll take everybody who could be useful. I think we'll leave that small unit of Greenwood bows. Happiness looks wonderful here, and we'll bring this army down in this region. Now, the danger is there could be a spy inside, so we're going to counter-train our own, and that could mean they open the gates to a big army that's lurking somewhere in the woods. If that happens, we lose the Elven King's halls, but the population is so low that we wouldn't be getting too much out of it anyway. So next turn, we may be able to turn this around and maybe strike a nice blow, especially if they've left an army outside Dale just like this. Also importantly, this is the turn where we can finally get Orthildir, our Noldor general, down to Austin Ethel. Now, for a turn or so, nothing is really going to change. Once he spends some time in here, though, we should see him get a trait, Rebuilder of Austin Ethel, something along those lines. It's been a while since I've done this, and that should let us know that he's getting things going. This will become useful in a little while. And it's actually a relief to see that the Beornings are building rams. That means an attack is likely to come soon, and we can hopefully end this threat. There are going to be 2 big armies, of course, and we don't have a huge amount of stuff to work with. We do have our Noldor, we do have a couple of family members, and some other elves. So hopefully we can hold off this tide. But we were not attacked by Dale, which means we are now free to move our armies in this direction. I think, though, first, let's go ahead and move our scout around just to make sure, because, of course, there was a big army standing just outside the city of Dale a moment ago. I don't see that anywhere, though, so let's do this. Let's set up right... yeah, that's going to be good. Right outside the city here. We'll go ahead and build some... Well, I guess we don't need the ladders. We'll build a bunch of these other things, and we can get some mercenaries. Sure, let's get some mercenary longbowmen. And we'll see what they do to us. I see that there is a Bjorning host on Dale's territory here, which is interesting. And so they may be trying to loop around and get me that way. But I think this will be something that we'll have to resolve in a future episode. No doubt we're going to be attacked in the coming turn and have to fight off a full stack, as well as what we have inside the city, which is their king, Arnbrand of Dale, as well as a bunch of tough, heavily armored Dale units. So I hope you'll join me next time where we see how these sieges are going to turn out. Until the next one, everybody, take care.